Hey y'all, Raging Catfish here, and today I'm going over the top 10 fantasy sleepers that will win you your league. These are must draft later round guys. I'm not going to include anybody like, oh, yes, you should draft Patrick Mahomes, you should draft Josh Allen, you should draft CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, because those are kind of obvious, like, good guys. No, today I'm talking about sleepers. That means guys that won't be rated super highly. They might not even be guys you draft and that you can pick up in free agency on the waiver wire, depending on how big your league is. Obviously, in a 32-man league, all these guys are going to get drafted, or hopefully they would be. But in a standard 10-man fantasy league, these are some guys that you can get in the later rounds, if not on the waiver wire, that can really, really help your team, potentially. Okay, I can't claim to be an all-knowing fantasy guru, But looking at the stats, looking at the situations, looking at the players, this is what I got. Now, at number 10, this is actually a kicker. I'm saying maybe take a kicker early and get Brandon Aubrey. Because we know Justin Tucker probably getting picked first overall, right? Maybe the kicker for the Dolphins because they get a lot of points, gotta get a lot of extra points, some PATs. But I think Brandon Aubrey is probably the biggest steal you can get for as far as kickers go. Because they're really, kicker as a position doesn't matter that much, which is why Brandon Aubrey, I just have him at number 10. Alright, I promise it gets better from here. But Brandon Aubrey, kicker for the Dallas Cowboys, he could very well get you, like, that extra couple points in a game that could win you your week in fantasy if you get him over, like, I don't even know who to compare him to. Harrison Butker? I don't know. But I'm just saying, Brandon Aubrey, he's a stud. You should definitely consider picking him up if you're torn between a couple kickers, because he will get the job done. Alright, at number 9, this one I think is maybe the highest anybody on this list will be drafted, and that's Zay Flowers, wide receiver for Baltimore. He, I believe, was a rookie last year. Was it his second year or was he a rookie? I believe he was a rookie. And he got a lot of volume in catches being passed to by Lamar. And Lamar, great quarterback, more of a, well, normally Lamar is the quarterback you compare agile quarterbacks to. He's more of an agile quarterback than a pocket passer, But still, Odell Beckham Jr. left the Ravens. I don't even know where he went, but he is not in Baltimore anymore. So Zay Flowers will be the number one guy in Baltimore. He's going to get a lot more targets, hopefully, and that'll convert to fantasy points. So if you're deciding between Zay Flowers and a couple other receivers, I'm just saying Zay Flowers underrated right now. He's a sleeper. Alright, number 8, I have actually the only defense on this list, and that is the Dallas Cowboys defense. I know, I already took the Dallas Cowboys kicker. Now I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys defense and special teams. But I promise I am not a Dallas fan. This is just for fantasy. The Dallas special teams is the best that you can get. Like, if you have an earlier pick and you're like, okay, I can pick between like Dallas or the Browns or the Jets, pick Dallas every time. It should be the number one defense taken off the board, and not a lot of people are projecting that. I may be wrong on that, but I've seen a lot of people taking like the Browns or the Jets first overall. It should be the Cowboys. If somehow they take a defense before Dallas, whoever you're in a league with, or if you have like the first overall pick, you want to take a defense, you want to be the first one, go with Dallas. Definitely the best choice there. I believe there were like 2 or 3 different games last year where the Dallas defense and special teams got like 20 something, 30 fantasy points. So, incredible performance for a defense and special teams. I'm not saying it'll be like just as good this year or better, but it's gonna be one of, if not the best defenses by a wide margin. So definitely, if you're picking a defense early, like of course you could fill out your bench spots or whatever with wide receivers or running backs before you pick a defense and then pick a lesser defense. But if you're picking a defense early, go with Dallas, 100%. All right. Now we're on to number 7. And we are looking at Trey Benson, the running back in Arizona, the rookie. Now, Trey Benson, I believe he should be on the waiver wire for every league, for just about every 10-man. You know, he is a rookie running back, but he's a stud, okay? With Kyler Murray and that offense, I think it's going to be very improved from last year when Kyler was injured for most of the season. And that'll convert to fantasy points in the running game. Because, what's his name? Trey Benson. He did really incredible in college. I believe he is NFL ready. He was taken pretty high in the draft. I believe he was the second running back taken, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he was the second overall running back taken in like the second or third round, something like that. So it is a little risky, which is why but if you're getting him on waiver anyway, you want to prioritize that because he has so much upside, right? He could get like 2 touches a game, but hey, he could also be just the clear-cut running back 1. All right, so next we are at number 5. Now, number 5, we have Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Buffalo. Well, since this offseason, it's pretty clear that Buffalo does not have many offensive weapons. Josh Allen does not have many people to throw to. He lost Stephon Diggs. He lost Gabe Davis. So Dalton Kincaid is really their only guy, besides Keon Coleman, who they got in the draft. Which he could be good, but I didn't love his tape. I'm not a big Keon Coleman guy. But Dalton Kincaid, this is going to be like tight end 6, something like that. I think he's like going to be easily like top 3 tight end when it's all said and done. So, if you're drafting tight end early, Of course, you can go for some of the guys that are projected higher, but you can actually, I believe, sit back a little bit, wait for your tight end, wait for Dalton Kincaid to fall to you, because I believe he will have incredible output. One of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end, for fantasy next season. Now, number 4, I am going with Brock Bowers, tight end rookie in Las Vegas. Now, a lot of people did not like the Brock Bowers pick by the Raiders in the first round at pick 16? No. It was 14, I think. 16 was the Seahawks. Yeah, I think it was 14. 15's Colts. Yeah. A lot of people did not like the Brock Bowers pick because they just got a tight end pretty high last year. And they had other needs, really, that they could have filled. I am kind of in agreement, but Brock Bowers was just such an excellent player, best player on the board. So I don't hate the pick, and I think he will fall really far. If you want to get a tight end like really, really late, like you want to fill out like your full roster before you get a tight end because you don't value that position, you could get Brock Bowers really late, or you can get him as your backup. You could probably get Dalton Kincaid and Brock Bowers, honestly. And Brock Bowers, he is a great pass catcher, super athletic. The only concern I have for him is their QB room in Vegas is not very great. So who's Brock Bowers getting his balls thrown by? At the end of the season, we won't know, right? Because I think we're going to cycle through quarterbacks in Vegas this year. Like, I would not be surprised if we had, like, 4 different starting QBs for Las Vegas Raiders this season. It's just kind of a really bad situation there. But still, if you can waiver wire this guy, Brock Bowers, absolutely prioritize him on the waiver. If not, you can get him in the late draft rounds. Yeah, that was number 4. All right, number 3. This one might be a little controversial, but Javonte Williams, running back for the Denver Broncos. Javonte Williams, I'm by no means hyping this guy up as a good player. I mean, he's in the NFL. He's a starter. He's a starting running back. Of course, he's a good player, but he's not that guy, you know. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. But Javonte Williams, he is going to be a real workhorse for this Denver offense because they don't have an offense. They're going to be one of the worst teams in football this year unless Bo Nix turns out to be the second coming of Patrick Mahomes, you know. But I don't I don't see that happening. I don't think anybody really sees that happening, especially because he's just starting straight away, to my knowledge. Who else do they have as their other quarterback? Jacoby Brissett? Is he a Bronco? I'm not sure. Maybe he's a Patriot. I don't know. I can't keep up with where all the backup quarterbacks go. But Bo Nix will probably start pretty soon. Not going to give him a lot of time to develop behind a more elder quarterback, you know. So I think their passing game will be abysmal for the Broncos. So I think they're going to lean a lot more on the run. And Javonte Williams is like running back 30? Something like that? I could not believe that when I saw the projections. He, it's just because, the Broncos, they're gonna be bad. Yeah, I know they're gonna be bad, but I think they're gonna pound the rock, because I don't think they'll be able to get anything done in the pass game. But Javonte Williams, I'm not saying to reach for him by any means. I'm not saying, oh yes, you should get Javonte Williams before Christian McCaffrey. No, don't do that. Bad. But I am saying, if he's on the board and you don't know who to take Javonte Williams. Fill out that bench spot, or maybe RB2, depending on how big your league is. He's not good, okay? I'm gonna be honest, but he's gonna put up some fantasy numbers. I know that. So, I think I already got him in one of my leagues, because I'm already doing some fantasy drafts. Because it's post draft, so we can do that now, even though we don't know schedules yet. I think last time I checked, we don't know schedules. So I'm not doing like my main fantasy draft yet, my main league. We're not doing the draft yet, obviously. But like I've been doing some just some leagues on just for fun, just to get my mind in the mindset, So yeah, number 3, Javonte Williams. All right, number 2, this is the quarterback that will make or break your season. Like this guy, if he stays healthy, he could be like QB3 easily. And yet he's like projected not that high. Like you might even be able to get him wavered in a 10-man. Probably no. Probably not. But you could get him as your QB2. Like that's the kind of underrated we're talking here. And that QB is Kyler Murray. Now Kyler Murray is more of a Lamar type player. He is going to be getting some rushing yards. He is going to still have an arm, definitely. But he's going to get rushing yards. He's going to get those rushing touchdowns, which is huge. People have forgotten how good Kyler Murray is, just because he hasn't played in a while. He is coming off an injury, which is a little concerning, but people are going to still take Kirk Cousins. They're still going to take Aaron Rodgers. And they're way older, coming off more serious injuries. So, honestly, Kyler does not seem that much of a risk to take when you think about that. I'm not saying to get, you should draft Kirk Cousins and then Kyler Murray because nobody gets re-injured ever or has their play decline ever. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying Kyler Murray, if you want to draft a QB really late, or if you want an early QB2, get Kyler. Like, his upside is insane. The Cardinals, they just got Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft. That is an incredible weapon for Kyler Murray. Like, that's going to go crazy. I can see the Cardinals' offense being really explosive this year. And that is very much thanks to Kyler Murray. So, I think that's the second Cardinals player I have here. Maybe I'm overrating the Cardinals. I don't know. But that's number 2, Kyler Murray. Alright, and number 1, we have Ladd McConkey. The boy, Ladd McConkey. Wide receiver for the Chargers. Now, Ladd McConkey, he in most years would have been a first round wide receiver, right? This was just a stacked wide receiver class. We had like several elite talents in wide receiver that went early in the first round. And I understand that. But Ladd McConkey, he's going to be a true wide receiver one for the Chargers. And really their only weapon, like, at all. Like, at all. And Justin Herbert, great quarterback, honestly. Like, fantastic. Maybe top 5. Top 7 for sure quarterback, you know. So, I don't understand how people are sleeping so hard on Ladd McConkey. He's going to be the only wide receiver, tight end, running back, any position catching that's going to be good in that Chargers offense. Like, Ladd McConkey, I could see being like wide receiver 3. And he's going in like the 7th round, something like that. Which is insane. Yeah, I may be exaggerating a little bit with the 7th round, but he should be going like round 2, for sure. I'm not saying to take him in round 2, but I'm saying if he's still on the board and he is, it's like, okay, I can get Ladd McConkey or some of these guys that are mid, or I can take like a backup tight end or something. Just take Ladd McConkey. Take Ladd McConkey. He's gonna be right there. You have plenty of time to take him. And I'm just saying he is gonna be one of the best wide receivers for fantasy next year. Like, it's insane how good his situation is for fantasy specifically. Because the Chargers, they just got Joe Alt, I believe. They got a tackle, I think. Might be Joe Alt. I may be thinking of... No. Did the Titans get Joe Alt or did they get J.C. Latham? I think the Titans got J.C. Latham. The Chargers got Joe Alt. But that's an improved offensive line that's going to protect Herbert. And Justin Herbert has a cannon of an arm. We know this. So, and he lost his receivers. Like, Ladd McConkey is really going to be the only competent weapon Herbert has. So, that's the list. That's the top 10 sleepers to look out for when you're doing your fantasy draft. I wanted to get this out pretty early because some people are already doing fantasy drafts, and I know a lot more will be doing that once the schedule releases. So I just wanted to get it out of the way so people could see it before they actually draft. Because if you draft in your main league and then you see this video, it's pointless, right? Like, you could trade for Ladd McConkey or Kyler Murray, or you could even waiver somebody, I guess. But seeing this video before the draft is very, a lot more beneficial than seeing it after. So, that's just my 2 cents. So yeah, thanks for watching.